with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. In the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out smackdowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tagging Your Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space, now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
So we lost Vinnie Mac. I'm sure he'll be back.
His Wi-Fi went down.
But ladies and gentlemen, this is the War Report podcast brought to you by TagMeADate.com, the first and only dating site for wrestling fans looking to make its return in 2021. Thank you for joining us. We have a lot to cover. Obviously, I had to open with a little Nia Jax this evening because, well, let's face it, for the first time in a long time, that was the best part of Raw. It was absolutely hilarious. Did everyone see the picture that came across?
Yeah.
All right, good. I couldn't tell if it worked or not, but so that's why I opened with Nia for the first time in a long time. She was the funniest fucking thing to happen on Monday Night Raw. It reminded me a lot of Booker T and his coccyx.
Yeah.
You know, when he started screaming, "Oh, my coccyx, my coccyx." That's kind of what it reminded me of. She's getting a lot of praise for it too, and now she's getting sponsorship offers
for a bidet.
Yeah.
But Vince, I did a quick intro. Welcome.
Excellent.
This is look at this. We that's all good. We got a full fucking house tonight for a change. It's good to see everybody. Yeah. This is how it should be. We're just missing a few more, but listen, this is nice. This is nice. So welcome everybody. We have a lot to cover. We got the Elimination Chamber brought to you by Shane McMahon, and then the rest of the week in wrestling. Eric, welcome back. I know you've been going through some shit. Glad to hear everything is good. So we are thrilled to have you back. And Ryan, the intern. Didn't know we'd ever see the fucking day where the intern would be back live. So welcome.
We're gonna get answers in real time tonight when we need something fact checked.
That's a true fucking story.
Behind the scenes. If you listen to the audio version, it's because Ryan does it. None of us would have the time, the patience, or the knowledge to do it. So thank you for doing that, Ryan.
Me for damn sure. We all know that.
He's all of our ITs. Whenever any of us have a problem, we go to him.
It's the young, when you're the youngest person, you're automatically tech support. That's how it works.
You're the same age as I am. I don't want to hear it.
Shh. We'll go with it for now. Wait, I think I'm still technically older than you because I was born in February.
I was December 86.
December of 86? Ah, damn.
Oh, be quiet, you two. I got underwear older than you.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
So
I don't know if it'll fit, but I have it.
So
you can wear
I kind of want to kick this off. I made my comments, but I wanted to see did anyone else have anything else that they wanted to address in terms of Nia Jax and her hole.
Besides the fact that my kids have been running around the house all day saying that.
That's absolutely hilarious.
It's not like most holes.
Yeah,
you probably need a periscope or something to find it.
colonoscopy. Yeah.
A colonoscopy.
Move some things around.
So she goes, I don't know if she thought the microphone was on her or not, because at first she goes, ow, my butt. And then she goes, oh, my hole.
I think the microphone didn't pick up the butt in front of the hole.
No.
And just caught hole.
No, she goes, oh, my butt. Pause. And then, oh, my hole.
Yeah, because she flipped the table. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I think she did it purposely. She was trying to have a comedic spot. Listen, she knew at the end of the day, she knew people would talk about it. And like I said at the beginning, as soon as I heard it, right away, my mind went to Booker T and his coxes. Like it was the same kind of thing. And then that was like, we talked about that being fucking hilarious, his coxes, this and that. So I think it worked. If she was looking to get some Twitter looks and some gifts and everything else, and I mean she did it. I know there's some in upper management that weren't thrilled because they've been censoring it since.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's muted on YouTube and all this other stuff. But I mean, come on.
She's the enema of the state.
Oh, shit.
I think it helps the situation though, because people are more interested in finding it because there's the
Finding her.
search. Yeah, no, I'm talking the audio. It's harder to find the audio. I wasn't going to quite go in the direction. You got to search for her hole. Oh,
this will go down in infamy.
no.
I love it.
So listen, I want to
match between X-Pac and Nia
Yes, I was gonna say,
for like
X-Pac
the worst
tried to-
hole situations.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
X-Pac actually tore his rectum. He had a worse injury than her.
Yeah.
correct. She didn't hurt herself. It was
She
a work.
landed on the
She was
hardest
just trying to
part
be
of the ring.
funny. Yeah, she did. I'm sure it didn't tickle. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying like
She put the
she's
hardest
not
part of
fucking.
the ring
She's
in her
not
hole.
injured. Like she's not. She's not in a position where she's not going to be cleared.
She
You know what I'm
had
saying?
enough padding. She's fine.
Yeah, she didn't break her coccyx.
Yeah, Cat with the fat jokes.
Man.
But it's true. There is a lot of padding.
There was
I want.
Plenty of
We're
cushion.
talking about her body. Look at her gear. There was enough padding
True, yeah,
everywhere.
she's got all that weird padding on.
Well,
She's-
Saddlebags.
she's got a lot of everything. But
saddlebags.
I want to.
Steve from Marks for Life for that saddlebags.
Listen, I want to go into something before we get more into Raw, SmackDown, Chamber, Mania, whatever, AEW. There's something pretty serious going on right now. Just wanted to kind of see what you guys are all. I mean, obviously, there's nobody that has a conscience that isn't disturbed by this. So the reason why Alexa Bliss was not on TV and apparently is taking some time away from TV, she has a stalker, and apparently this guy tweeted something like, I'm sorry for the way Ryan has kidnapped you and abuses you and this and that. And he's got like this whole idea in his head that Ryan, has, beats her and scared her to marry him, engaging in like all this crazy shit, and that he's going to be the knight in shining armor when he comes to Orlando. And so it's some serious shit, man. And it's, it's horrible. I mean, at the end of the day, nobody should ever have to deal with something like that. I'm pretty sure Paige went through something similar.
Sonya did too.
Yes,
Right. Sonya, correct. And then, of course, celebrities across the board. I mean, this shit happens, and it's just disgusting, and, not only are you scaring the shit out of her, Ryan, her family, but as wrestling fans, that takes Bliss away from Raw, and I don't get my moment of bliss. And I look forward to my moment of bliss every week. So pretty shitty, but I give it to you guys.
Can I ask you a serious question? How is he still on Twitter?
He gets reported, and then he creates a new account.
Okay,
Right.
at least
People
I wasn't
are
following
saying
it too hard.
reporting it. Right. He just keeps creating. The last one that I saw was really weird because the icon was just a guy holding binoculars. And I'm like, he knows he's a fucking creep because he has the binoculars in his So
how recent is this? Because I didn't know that.
This has been all over social media within the last like 48 hours.
Yeah, it's been going on for apparently a long time, but she publicized it a few days ago, late last week, I think it was, and she put a statement out on Twitter. She says, "I have a stalker. I want to address them publicly right now. Leave me alone. I'm happy not being abused. Like she had to put out an unnecessary statement to be like, hey, leave me the fuck alone. And the guy, eventually people figured out from tweets and stuff who it was, reported the account, screenshot stuff, and then every time his account would go down, I think he's created 5 or 6 accounts at this point. And the last one being that he was going to go to Orlando to pay them a visit. So, I mean, yes, for her safety, she shouldn't be on the thing.
Alexa should hire Omis to stay with her until this is over.
Fucking like real ex-military, like private security to be with her and beat.
I just put the tweet in the chat right next to you guys so you could say it.
Hello, everyone who thinks I'm a troll. I'm not. I'm dead serious about getting rid of that piece of shit.
There we go.
Cabrera. So stop calling me an effing troll. I'm not a stalker. I'm a lover of Alexa Bliss.
Jealousy much?
Yeah, I will be at her
Stalker
house
much?
in Orlando, Florida, and pay her a little visit. # let me in. Fuck this guy.
That is so fucking creepy, man. So fucking creepy.
If anybody sees him in Florida, just shoot him on sight.
Fire a warning shot into his face.
Fire a warning shot into his. Obviously, the guy's fat.
Shoot him in the dick.
And that's the most recent one. He just did this
Shoot
one.
him in the dick. That's what I would do. Shoot him
If you can find it.
Hey, now.
Just shoot in the fatty area where his dick may be, and then hope you hit his dick.
Shoot him in the hole.
All jokes aside, man. All jokes aside, man. This is really creepy.
It is.
Yeah, that is terrible.
Yeah, and there was the tweet that he was his fiance husband is going to see the Angel soon.
Yep, Angel Cabrera is going to be with the Angels. Yep.
Oh yeah, this is all very strange. Unfortunately, nowadays with the way technology is and being able to literally find out. I mean, it used to be you would hear whispers. You're like, did you know Hulk Hogan's real name was Terry Bollea? It's like, no, what? His name was Hulk Hogan. Like, you didn't know wrestlers' names, let alone where they went to high school. And
social media changed the game, man. Yeah. You can find anything online.
And you can find anything. And unfortunately, like here's the thing. There's always been a group of society, like a very small percent, like anything. There's always a small percentage of society that takes things a little too far. Whether
way too far.
People of a certain, if they have a certain religion that they follow and then they become overboard with that, whether it's one political side or another, or whether it's being a fan of a TV show or an actor or an actress, there's that little 0.5% or 1% of the group that just takes it too far and thinks they're part of the group. What it usually is it's people with poor social skills who develop what they call a parasocial or a paraphilial relationship with the people they're watching on television, even though they don't know them personally. They feel like through social media and through television that they know them very well. And it's like, oh, that's my friend on TV. And it's not really your friend on TV. It's it's a character that they're portraying. It's not even the actor.
Well, that
blurs the line, of course. That more, but
no, very true. And then Kat put up the second part of the tweet, which was, "Hey Alexa Bliss, WWE, I'm going to stay up all night waiting for your Instagram pictures, but in the meantime, I would love to feel up your body again. At Ryan Cabrera, stop touching my wife, you rapist."
Good Lord.
So here's what I also don't understand. When an account on Twitter gets reported like this, and this is why I'm not a big fan of Twitter.
Can't they track an IP address or anything?
There's ways to find out where this person registered, out where the tweets are coming from. All they have to do is give this data to like the FBI or give it to the state or local police for where that person is. And they don't even have to.
I can't imagine the police aren't already involved. So then my question would be, why haven't we done that already?
Yeah.
If we haven't, you know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be this tough. And the guy clearly is not the brightest crayon in the box. Yeah, this shouldn't be very hard.
Even if they knocked on the door just to say they're doing hey, we're going to do a wellness check. We heard some weird shit. So, police are allowed to do that and do a wellness check on you. This guy, obviously, he's got a lot of problems. So I hope whoever it is, whether it's the police or he turns himself in, whatever the situation is, I hope it ends non-violently And I hope that whether it's through the prison system or through psychological evaluation, that this guy gets his help. But this is a sick fucking person that needs to not. He shouldn't just be in line at the grocery store right now. You know what I mean? That's not a guy that should just be walking to the mall and buying underpants and just having a normal day. He's got to. There's somebody has to find this guy and at least ask him, what the fuck are you doing? So I hope the police get. I really do hope the police get involved, and if they haven't,
some kind of steps need to be taken.
Yeah, so
he's
I hope
tweeting. He's been tweeting today again too.
That's what I'm saying. So the guy's dumb enough to continue to tweet, and we haven't been able to find him yet. Like,
who
I'm
knows
sorry,
who else he may be stalking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be all because those divas, every single one of them. When you go on Twitter.
You get some creepy.
There's the Alexa Bliss with the little heart. I love Alexa Bliss fan account.
I'm so glad I left Twitter.
Yeah, it's awful. I had a fake Tayanara Conti account follow me on Instagram because I followed the real Tayanara Conti.
Wow.
Holy shit, this guy just tweeted 15 minutes ago, Alexa Bliss, your home looks amazing from outside. I wonder what the inside looks like. Let me in.
Oh my God. That's
come on, dude. So
if this isn't him just making shit up from his couch, if he's actually on the road and in Florida, this guy, he's got to get stopped. Somebody call.
No joke. It's on his Twitter. That's his Twitter. I just put it in that's his Twitter handle.
Yeah, this is potentially very, very dangerous.
Yeah,
and let's see. I don't know why Alexa fans keep clogging up my mentions with your opinions. I don't want to hear them. What happens between me and Alexa Bliss is our business. I tweet things because I can. You guys and Raya Cabrera need to stop all scaring her. I love you, Alexis Kaufman.
Wow.
That was 15 minutes ago, literally.
What a fucking twisted fuck.
I have goosebumps right now.
It's
that's scary ass shit.
Like, two of the five people here have children and they have daughters. And I can't imagine what that would feel like to know that my daughter would be in a situation like that.
I would literally find the guy and kill him.
Yeah.
There would be nothing other than I killed him.
Yeah, this is too much, man. It's there's internet trolls and people who, and this guy says he's not an internet troll. So if he's not and he's serious, then that means he's bad news. I can't believe he has another account. So yes, Albert Little, like Albert Little 666,
like Little Dick.
Yeah,
right.
like Little Dick. Like, find this, like, if you're able to do any kind of tracing, I don't know what you can. I used to be able to do this shit back in the day when I was young and full of cum, but not anymore. I'm old and don't know anything about the internet.
Yeah, but this is, like, seriously twisted because, like, he's got messages on here like, where the fuck are you? I'm starting to get pissed off. I've been waiting all day for an update on your Instagram pictures. Your silence is violence. Alexa Bliss, this is what the people need, baby.
I can't imagine she's home right now. She has to be somewhere else.
On for sure. She's somewhere else. Yeah, I think I'm hoping this ends with an arrest being made because otherwise
this guy needs to be put in a mental institution immediately.
The other guy, if you remember the guy at the performance center who wanted to get signed and would pound on the doors and they would keep calling the cops, and then one day he shit in a bucket and threw the bucket of shit at the door. He was arrested.
I do remember that.
Yeah, so there are crazy. I mean, first of all, it's Florida, so already there's crazy people, and then you take the rest of it into account. With, somebody mentally ill who gets obsessed with a pretty girl. I mean, I get it; she's gorgeous, but like, she's also within my world. Even though I know she's a real person, she's a fictional character. I don't know Alexa Bliss. I don't know Alexa Kaufman. You know what I mean? That's just. It's the same as seeing a picture of a pretty girl and going, on Instagram. I don't know that pretty. She's pretty, but I don't know her. Like,
correct.
People cross that line into the weird. I don't know.
I agree, 100%.
Someone tried to hack the email, apparently.
Oh, try to hack Alexa's email?
No, the whoever's stalker.
Yeah.
I'm going through the Twitter feed.
Hopefully Hopefully she's in Ohio right now and not still in Florida. That's the only thing I can say.
There's no way she's in Florida right now. There's no way.
Especially if she wasn't on TV. If they said she was off TV for this, she was out of state. Like,
yeah.
Fuck me. Yeah, that's awful.
It's really scary. It really is scary that there really are sick people like that.
Yeah.
And she's on such a roll too right now. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Well, look, a stalker ended up taking fucking Sonya Deville off for like 6 months.
Yeah. And almost killed her.
That's right.
Yep.
Wasn't Mandy in the house with her too?
He was in the house. Right. He was breaking into the house, and they had to like hide all the cops. And if you remember a few years ago, this is an extreme thing, but there was a guy that stalked Bjork.
Who?
There was a singer Bjork.
Bjork, yeah.
Yeah. So there was a guy that stalked her, and it ended with him mailing her a bomb and him killing himself and leaving a VHS tape of him killing himself for the cops. And luckily they found the package and diffused like before Bjork even got involved. They were able to get the mail from circulation. But I mean, that's the extreme end of this, is somebody who's so obsessed they put together a mail bomb and then they kill themselves. Like, I'm not saying this guy's gonna do that, but there's precedent here that stalkers and people who have this obsession with people tend to go in an extreme direction. One of your kids has to pee.
No, he's playing Among Us. He got to be.
Oh, okay. I thought he said he had to pee. All right.
Very close.
I would have muted that a hell of a lot faster.
This is
at least he didn't say my hole.
Well, this is like kind of like when John Lennon was killed. The whole Mark David.
Yeah.
Scary shit, man. Yeah.
Super fan that kind of went crazy. Or Selena's.
Oh, Selena. I was going to say Yolanda Saldivar. Yeah.
I was just reading about that last week, and she was like the head of the fan club.
Yep.
Ran a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, awful.
But she was also embezzling.
Yeah.
Yes, she was not a great person, and then ended up shooting.
God, I can't even watch the end of that movie anymore.
No, that's terrible. But we got it. So okay, well, to put a bow on this, if you see anything regarding this person online that could potentially give clues as to where they are, if they're actually in Florida or otherwise, and if there's able to, if you're able to help with IP tracing or whatever, or maybe you saw something on one of their posts that's like, they tag something local and it's like something you recognize, whatever it is. If you see something, say something, report it. This guy's got to go to jail. Definitely. We've all just got to be on the ball on this one, because it's little podcasts like us that talk about it, and then other people on social media talk about it. If everybody's aware, the power of this guy lessens, because he can't work in the shadows. He can't work underneath. If he didn't bring attention to himself, we wouldn't know about any of this, and then he'd just show up at the girl's fucking house. But now that he's kind of exposed himself, this is an opportunity to keep an eye.
If they can find Bin Laden, they can find this guy.
Exactly. We only need 14 guys to take down Bin Laden, so I think we can take down some fat wrestling nerd.
Steve, I noticed the Elimination Chamber is running under this.
Yes.
Since I was mostly watching the 911 shows, fill me in on who's in the chamber.
Oh, they fucked it all up, Steve. Eric, can I just tell you?
911 was better, Eric. I'm just going to say that.
No, they fucked up the Elimination Chamber placement of who. Like, all right, so
let me just say this: Raw started out, I think, in a decent way, because it was a short promo, and then Shane made a big return. And he announces the Elimination Chamber, and right off the bat, he gives you Vince. Go ahead.
He just says, he's like, by the way, here's who's in the Elimination Chamber: Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Sheamus, and The Miz. Now, and that's just it. So here's where I think they fucked up. I think The Miz shouldn't be in there because he has the briefcase.
Yep.
Correct.
Sheamus was, as he mentioned it on TV, he was offered a one-on-one championship match from Drew McIntyre. He should have that match before the Elimination Chamber. He shouldn't be in the chamber. And this is something I can't take total credit for, but it kind of sparked an idea of mine. I was listening to Brian Alvarez, and he said, they should have had Kofi in the chamber, and then right before the match starts,
Yeah.
Ali should attack Kofi and put himself in the chamber because it would be a mirror of last year where Ali couldn't go in due to injury. So I just think they could have done right. Or like there could have been qualifiers. They didn't have qualifiers. They just said, "Oh, okay, you guys are in the Elimination Chamber, and we're gonna have AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy right now. Go." And it's like, what? These are two of the best two of the biggest names on your show, and they're having a match with no promotion at 8:15 on Raw. Like, what the fuck? I don't understand some of the choices that they make. Steve, you with us?
I don't disagree with one thing that you said.
Thank you.
I mean, this is one time where you and I agree 100%. I mean, go ahead.
They need qualifiers. You need to beat, there needs to be a reason. It can't just be.
That's how it used to be.
All right, go ahead. Now you go.
Yeah.
I'm too. You go.
Well, no, I agree with you. I think you're right. I mean, that's how it used to be. You had to have a qualifying match to be a part of the big match. You know, and at the end of the day, Drew McIntyre's winning. I mean, let's just call that now.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably.
I think so. If they are going with Edge against Roman Reigns,
There's plenty of time between now and WrestleMania, though.
They also did put another pay-per-view in between Chamber and Mania too.
Oh, is there another Roadblock?
I'm pretty sure.
Roadblock is funny because it really is one of those opportunities to fuck up somebody's road to WrestleMania. Speaking of fucking up the road to WrestleMania, is Lacey Evans ready for Asuka?
God, I hope not.
Lacey Evans isn't ready for anything.
Can you imagine? I don't want this to happen, but because there's going to be an Asuka Lana, or excuse me, not Lana, thank God. That'll come later. We'll talk. I mean, that's going to happen. But anyway, Asuka, Lacey Evans title match for Asuka's Raw Women's Championship. What's to say that Vince doesn't want this Lacey versus Charlotte feud to go into WrestleMania itself? And Lacey
extend it by giving her the title.
Right. Lacey has the title, and then Charlotte has to challenge. I don't know.
You really think they're going to go Lacey beat Asuka?
Well, only because I feel like they don't really ever have the respect for Asuka that they should. She always seems to lose the title right before WrestleMania or lose the title at WrestleMania. Like the thing that I just remembered that early, like I was there for the Asuka Charlotte match, which is a very good match. I don't necessarily have a problem with Charlotte tapping out Asuka and beating her undefeated streak and all that to win the title. It is what it is. But then
retain.
So
Asuka had the Royal Rumble on top of her.
Rumble, and Charlotte didn't even win. She retained. Yes.
Yeah.
So no, Asuka definitely should have won. But what I'm saying is whatever. So Charlotte wins. Then the referee goes over to John Cena and says, "Hey, the Undertaker's actually here." And then John Cena runs out, and she's left to do the Charlie Chan. Oh, good job! Oh, you go fight Undertaker routine. Like what the fuck? She's out there clapping for John Cena. She just lost the women's championship.
And her undefeated streak.
Yeah.
On top of that.
John Cena, he runs up the ramp. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop clapping.
Yeah, John Cena, you're so good. Go fight the Undertaker.
Like, but I'm saying, I hate to do the tacky accent, but she's like a caricature. I don't understand. She was one of the best and still is one of the best women's wrestlers from Japan that they brought over. And now she just goes out there and does this friggin' ching chong routine. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know.
Well, can't we see Charlotte interfering and costing Lacey?
Yes, I also think that's a possibility because Lacey's been interfering so much. But I'm just saying the possibility now that the match exists, it's like that Schrodinger's cat. Is it dead or is it alive? We have Schrodinger's wrestling match. We have the potential that Lacey could be the Raw Women's Champion. Not that she is, but she could. There's a chance.
If Lacey wins, I riot. No.
I mean, what unfortunately, there's no button.
Lacey's going to win.
After all the deliberation, Steve just
really? Are we going there again?
I mean, she's got Flair with her now. He's going to get involved. She's going to have a run. This whole thing was gearing her up for her first, in my opinion. So I think that's what's happening.
See, I think a better way to build Lacey up, even though, I'm not a fan of hers. However, I think she'd get much more of an opportunity if it was her versus Charlotte, going over Charlotte in a non-title big WrestleMania match, than to just haphazardly win the title and then you know what I mean?
Well, yes, that would make more sense. That's unfortunately why we have a podcast.
That I think is what would build Lacey better. However, if she just wins the title, whoop-de-doo, that really doesn't do anything.
The problem is that there's obviously people in the back that think she's ready. And that's why they did this whole thing with Flair.
I didn't even think she was good in NXT.
No, she wasn't. She's gotten worlds better from her days in NXT. I don't know. I kind of like Lacey. I just, at the end of the day, this is inevitable. We kind of knew this was coming.
But see, Steve, it's funny because the way I feel about Lacey is the way you feel about Shotzi.
Lacey,
true. I can't stand Shotzi.
I love Shotzi.
Oh, I can't stand it.
Whereas I can't stand Lacey. So it's all subjective. It's all opinions.
100%, absolutely. But
Steve,
yeah.
Just for the record, since you said you can't stand Shotzi, Autumn went on the record saying that Justin and Eric are now her managers. You've been fired.
Oh wow!
Oh no!
I've been fired?
Yes, because you said you don't like Shotzi, so you've been fired.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Ladder match.
We'll talk about that. I'm the richest man in the world when it comes to wrestling. SSL Productions, money talks.
And
we'll have a DiBiase, Earl Hebner type of situation. Don't you worry.
I missed the very beginning of Raw, and I just assumed they did like a little thing for Butch Reed,
All they did was a picture.
Okay.
They didn't.
At the very least, I figured it was just going to be a picture.
But yeah, that is a good call. We go ahead. We should address that. You're right.
Because Butch Reed was. I mean, look, before he went to the WWF, Mid-South, he was huge in Mid-South. He was like the best heel they had, like the main eventer guy. Obviously, not many people were going to be at the Hulk Hogan level once you got to Hulkamania during that time. But Butch Reed still had some great appearances. He was he beat what was it, Coco Beware in Mania 3. And then he was the first person that Macho Man beat in the tournament at Mania 4. But then one of his best roles since Mid-South was tag team in Doom with Ron Simmons, managed by Teddy Long. That was one of the best WCW tag teams of all time. So Butch Reed, very he's young. 66 is young.
Yeah.
So
especially nowadays.
Yeah, before his time, and definitely a legend in the business, and it's very sad. So I just wanted to acknowledge that.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Anybody else have any thoughts?
Well, he was, in some territories he was Hacksaw. He was the Natural, which was great because he called himself the Natural, but he had the bleach blonde hair.
That's right.
For the heel heat.
I actually met him at an autograph signing out here on the island, like in 2003. It was probably one of the most chill, laid-back guys you would ever meet. And a lot of people were like, how they charge like for the autographs and everything? He wasn't taking any money. And he had a line out the door because he wasn't taking a single dollar for the autograph. Could have been because not everybody knew who he was. But he had a long-ass line and literally signed every single person that was on that line.
That's amazing.
And I'm saddened too because there were a few autograph session things where he was at the event and I never got to meet him or get his autograph. So it kind of saddens me a little bit like that too.
Yeah, he was a big, he was a big name for, especially, I mean, we're in Black History Month right now. When you think of big African American superstars, aside from your Rocky Johnsons and your Tony Atlases, he's right up there. Ron Simmons, Butch Reed. You know, he was a like you said, you couldn't, like Eric said, you couldn't get to Hulk Hogan's level in the WWF because there was a Hulk Hogan, but in the territories, Mid-South, etc., he was huge, and people loved him everywhere. And they said that while he hadn't reached out personally yet, he was a big fan before he passed away of Powerhouse Will Hobbs. And he said when he saw Will Hobbs wrestle, he said, that's the next Hacksaw Butch Reed. So
wow,
big endorsement. And I think when it's time, because right now he's with Team Taz and he's Powerhouse Hobbs, but there's going to be a time when he turns babyface, he should be Hacksaw Hobbs. He should do it.
That could totally work too.
AEW takes these little things from the past in wrestling and kind of reworks them. You know, they're teasing this 4 Horsemen faction with Tully and the FTR, and you know they tease a couple things, but this would be a nice throwback to to respect our wrestling elders and have Hacksaw Hobbs out there. So I think I'm putting it out there because I think a lot of people are thinking that online, and maybe they've already reached out to him on social media. But the more people think about it, maybe the more the AEW brass will consider it. So Hacksaw Hobbs should be a thing to honor the late Hacksaw Butch Reed.
I think that's a great idea.
For sure. We got about 20 minutes left. What do we want to touch on?
Well, I guess we should. I mean, does anyone feel like there's anything else we should talk about in regards to Raw?
I mean,
Raw seemed pretty lackluster to me. It was good to see Keith Lee back. I thought that was a great match. I did think AJ Jeff Hardy was a great match. How could it not be?
Right.
We're forgetting what happened after the whole, though. That Lana actually won the match.
Yeah, we kind of.
Well, yeah.
But did she put her through a table too?
Yes.
Yeah.
She pushed her, and the table was set up like leaned against something in the corner, or you know what I mean, outside. So
While she was recovering from her hole, she got cracked.
Yeah,
you know.
she was tending for her tender hole,
and we're trying to fill the hole right now.
Yeah, but no, I'm just stretching for time. No, but so
Fill the Kraken.
And I made the fat jokes.
We talked about this months ago when this Lana Nia feud was actually fresh. Where like the end of this feud is a tables match where Lana gets a fluky win by putting Nia through a table. That was always a thing that was going to happen. That's like how you blow off this feud. It's like Cody feuding with the Big Show in that tables match, and you had the Big Show just stepped on the table. Something like that was going to happen. So here we are. Lana hurt Nia's hole and then beat her. But nobody remembers because A, it happened too far after the feud ended, and B, Nia got all the heat from the whole thing, so nobody remembers the finish of the match.
But see, here's the huge question.
I didn't even give a fuck about the finish.
But how are they going?
Who cares now? She said Nia won. Nia lost the match and won the feud by just saying her, "Oh, ow, my hole."
Yeah,
but here's
pretty much.
How are they going to present her next week is now going to be the huge question.
I would love it if
she'd come out with a big diaper.
She should have just a big spot, like a big brown spot on the back of her trunks.
That's gross. Funny as hell, but that's gross.
They could sell women's underwear with a little dot on the back that says Nia's hole.
Somebody on Facebook said they wanted to start a fund to create a T-shirt.
Oh, there you go. Geez. Oh, wait, you know how like they do this thing for Valentine's Day, since it's coming up, where you can send a mold of your butthole and they'll make a chocolate out of it?
Oh my God, I saw this.
So they could do Nia's chocolate holes. And they could make them.
You know how big that fucking donut would have to be?
You get a chocolate bar like this big.
Oh shit! You know what I just thought of?
Oh shit! Yes, literally.
If there were actually fans in the arena, you know there'd be somebody with a fucking red laser pointer.
Yeah,
I think Nia's hole would
Remember,
be
like
chanted.
from Willy Wonka, the big chocolate bar before it got shrunk down for TV.
Nia would get Nia's hole, my hole, oh my hole, Nia's hole. Like So that would be a chant. But we can't
honestly, they could clean up
my
on
hole.
merchandise, really.
Oh my hole.
Yeah.
They could have Joey Styles come out. Oh my hole.
Oh God.
As long as Michael Cole's not doing it every week, I'm good.
Michael,
It's whole time.
I was just gonna say that.
It's whole time.
Oh, it's Nia's hole.
Oh, here's
It's the
something else
big
about
hole.
Raw. I'm changing the subject. Let's get off the hole.
It's the big hole.
Oh God, let's get off the hole. Listen.
or out of the hole.
There's two things I do want to address from Raw. Number one, I want to throw this out to the panel.
Not number two. I have to, sorry.
That was very good. Here's my question. How do we feel? So Edge came out and he said that he's not going to make an announcement until after the Chamber to decide which champion he's going to go for. Bianca kind of hinted the same. She's not going to play her card, kind of thing. So my question is, how do we feel about having to wait until after the Chamber for a decision to be made? That's the first question.
I kind of like it.
Doesn't bother me. No.
I think it might be as the weeks go on, it might become a little more clear who they're going to pick, even though they don't make an official decision until after the Chamber. I feel like you're going to be able to get a feel for what's going to happen. I still, my gut tells me Bianca's going to challenge Sasha, but that's purely.
I agree. I agree with you.
Only because I feel like Bianca's a fresh challenger for Sasha. Not that she wouldn't be for Asuka, but who would Sasha wrestle at WrestleMania on the SmackDown side? Would she wrestle Naomi? Would she go back to Bayley? Like, what do you do there?
Right.
Bianca
That's
makes
true.
no sense. For Asuka, at least you've got on the Raw side, you've got Charlotte, who's positioned as being a title contender. Lacey, unfortunately, right now is being put out as a title contender. And you've got a couple. I feel like you've got a couple more ways to go with Asuka.
You never know if Ronda is coming back.
And yes, that's always she played in a flag football game. This was the infamous flag football game over Super Bowl weekend this weekend, where Drew McIntyre and The Miz played, and Shaq was in it, and Doug Flutie beat R-Truth for the 24/7 title, and Ronda Rousey played in this flag football game as well. So who knows? Maybe she comes back and just does WrestleMania and disappears. She doesn't. She doesn't.
She's still under contract.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. They could instantly put Rhea Ripley on Raw and then make a challenge too.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so too. I think she could go right to Raw and make a challenge, because Rhea Ripley versus Asuka would be a great. I mean, that's a WrestleMania worthy match. Former NXT champion versus.
I don't know when they're doing the takeover, but if Io loses to either Toni Storm or Mercedes Martinez, then Io could come up too.
Yeah, it's this Sunday. 15th. Yeah. Cool.
Well, and not only that, but everything I'm hearing, I'm pretty confident we're going to see Scarlett and the ticking time bomb on the main roster before WrestleMania.
So don't even bother with giving him the NXT title again. Just bring him right up.
Right. Everything I'm hearing is that they think he's ready and they want to fast track.
Well, did you see that? Well, Randy Orton tweeted him. He's like, let come up and let's make some money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy is a fucking star.
100%.
And so is Scarlett.
I was going to say, I want to see Scarlett.
Yeah. Scarlett could be an addition. If I don't know.
She can wrestle too. I mean, she can wrestle. I'm not going to sit here and say I think she's the best, by any means. But she's definitely better than the worst, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus, she's gorgeous. I mean, she really is stunning.
But think about she adds something to the women's division for sure. And then think about Randy Orton and Cross as a faction, not necessarily a tag team, just Scarlett and Cross joining Randy Orton, because Randy Orton and Cross.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Just bald weirdos with tattoos. Like those, I feel like the same intensity that Randy Orton has is similar to what Cross has when he does his psycho killer kind of gimmick there. And if what's his face didn't stink so much, he could be part of the group too. What's the guy? Dexter.
Who's what's his face?
Dexter Loomis.
He does nothing for me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like he could be another part of the psycho guys with tattoos on their arms club, but he does nothing for me.
I don't mind the gimmick too much.
Allister Black could have been a good part of that if they didn't fuck him up.
Speaking of, I feel like they're just letting this guy sit out his contract and are just going to release him.
Well, but see, now I heard something the other day that they're getting ready to like bring him back and massively push him. So I don't know how true that is, because I thought he was pretty sour on the company since Zelina and all that. So,
which I'm still waiting for Zelina to show up, somewhere.
Apparently, I'm also, and listen, what I'm hearing is what I'm hearing. Take it for what it is. Yeah, but right. But I'm also hearing that companies are apparently showing very little interest, which I don't understand if that's actually true.
Right, because it's not like she has like baggage like Tessa does.
Not only that, she's beautiful and she can wrestle.
Yeah,
like she can really wrestle.
She was Rosita, for crying out loud.
That's what I'm saying.
Hell, she was AJ Lee and Fighting with My Family. You don't get that part for no reason.
That's true too.
That's right. Good call.
Like she has history with Impact, but she also I can't see AEW not wanting her. I don't understand.
Well, right. See, I'm with you, Eric. I don't. There's no reason why they wouldn't want her. She'd be nothing but an asset. I don't get it.
Look what she did for fucking Andrade.
Yeah.
And that's
before they fucked it up. But I'm just saying.
That seems like a catchphrase for WWE before they fucked it up.
Yeah.
I thought you would say, "Where was he?" That's also a.
That's also very true.
Speaking of, from the "Where the fuck was this guy" file, Humberto Carrillo comes back, and he's with.
Where the hell has he been?
Yeah, was it Humberto or was it Angel that came back?
Well, Angel just came back.
Who came back with Miz and Morrison?
Right.
Angel Garza.
It was Angel. So where the fuck is Humberto?
Wrong Latino, Vince. Come on.
We got to talk about that too, because Bad Bunny was back.
Oh yes, Bad Bunny was. So wait a minute, we're missing Kat. We're missing a Latino.
The hell you playing me for?
Where'd he go? We got to put him on a bottle of on the milk cartons or something. Where did Humberto go?
You need something more Hispanic themed, so there's a better chance of finding him.
On the back of Tostitos or something. I don't know what the fuck.
Tostitos? Oh my god.
Okay, now
I think that was a little racist.
So rumor has it that it's supposed to be like what, Miz and Morrison versus Bad Bunny and Damian Priest or something, right? Mm-hmm. Now, but they put Angel Garza in there. Why not put Booker T in there in a 6-man? Because Booker T is the fucking name of the song.
Yeah.
Damian Priest, by the way, looked great on Raw this week.
Oh,
yeah.
He had a good showing, even though Bad Bunny was there. But even still, Bad Bunny did a nice little move with the briefcase and got them ejected from the match and stuff. So that was kind of cool.
Okay, this has nothing to do with wrestling, but what the fuck kind of name is Bad Bunny? I'm just saying.
I don't know. I've never heard the origin of this name.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out.
I'm sure we could Google it and find out what the origin is. But they explained it, and I don't know if they explained it on TV, but they had Damian Priest do an interview, and he revealed, and whether or not this is true or not, I guess we could find out too.
So
he says that the
backstory on Bad Bunny is he's not allowed to say that he's Bugs Bunny, and he's a huge Bugs Bunny fan, so he switched to Bad Bunny.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Literally, that's all that is behind it, and you could thank God.
He doesn't come out with
a little piece of knowledge.
He would have been Bugs Bunny instead.
Correct. If he could have been, yes.
Okay, so his rap name would have been Bugs. But I would have liked that too. They revealed that Damian Priest was born in the same town in Puerto Rico as Bad Bunny, so that's like their connection. is they both grew up in that same kind of rough neighborhood upbringing, and made it where a lot of guys don't make it out of that neighborhood. They made it out, and that's their connection.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you talk about people that should be potential stars, Damian Priest is one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we were talking
the
about
size of this guy, the things that he can do for his size.
We've been talking about him for a while. I mean, again,
he was great in Ring of Honor
when he was Punishment Martinez. Yeah, he was great.
I thought that name was silly, but he did well. Punishment Martinez.
That's a lot better than Bad Bunny.
Oh, what if Bad Bunny should take Punishment Martinez and make that his name for wrestling? So listen, he's training. From everything I've heard, Bad Bunny is training at the Performance Center. He's a fan of wrestling, obviously, and
he's putting in the work.
I mean, he wants to do it. More power to him. I don't know how it's going to go. He jumped off the top rope and did fine, but I don't know how he's going to do wrestling a match. Because my least favorite thing is, and this always seems to happen, is there's one point in the match where the heels beat up on the famous person, and then they have to sell, and they stink at it. And then eventually they make like a tag, and whatever happens. But like, I don't know. I just, for my liking, if he throws a super kick, he does. I don't necessarily think he should be wrestling in a match. It's good, he can do it. Whatever. It's WrestleMania. That's when you put the celebrities in a match. It's fine. But like, doing what he did.
And if it's a tag match, he's not going to have to do much.
Right. And
you know what I mean?
Who was the one that didn't sell the power bomb from like Kevin Owens? Was that
Machine Gun Kelly?
Machine Gun
Kelly? Fucking idiot.
He took the power. Wasn't it off the stage too, or through?
Yeah, it was off the stage through tables or something.
But now Little Bow Wow is trying to cashing in like how Bad Bunny is now too.
Bow Wow,
come on, really?
What promotion?
He wants a WrestleMania moment now too.
To be in WWE. That's what he said his next goal is.
Off to counteract Cad's claim.
He's not relevant in the rap game anymore.
Right, he definitely isn't. What were you saying, Ryan?
The stage name supposedly came from when he had to wear a bunny costume and it was photographed with an angry expression, according to Wikipedia.
Oh man, maybe he was Adam Rose's bunny.
Oh, that's what they should do. You know what? At this point, it would be like revealing who the anonymous GM is way too late. But sure,
yeah.
Make Bad Bunny the bunny. He should come out in the bunny costume and then take the thing off. I was the bunny the whole time.
It was me.
It was me the whole time.
It was me all along.
Just that. It was me though. And then they could show the replays of like the bunny doing the shooting star press when it was Evan Bourne and all these weird things. You're like, yeah, that was fun the whole time. Yeah.
Fucking Bad Bunny.
Hey, if they look, I'm all about continuity. So if they tie things together like that, I'd be all for it.
Yeah.
If I had to read the Wikipedia page, someone had to hear the rest of it.
Didn't they also make an announcement now, that a match at Elimination Chamber, they're going to do a triple threat for the U.S. title?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yep.
So we know that's coming. So that should be a pretty decent match.
Yeah.
Do we see Keith Lee winning yet, or are they going to give that to him at Mania?
I mean,
like they can have Riddle take the L to
my gut tells me after what took place this week, Keith Lee walks out as champion.
I think so too.
I agree. Yeah,
I would totally love it.
Yeah.
I think because here's my thinking. If they go in that direction, I've kind of been reading the response of people and saying last night about Keith Lee winning and what that means for this match in the United States Championship. If Keith Lee beats either of them, maybe if the plan is to do Roman Reigns against Edge, then they're going to do Drew McIntyre against Bobby Lashley. I don't know if that's a WrestleMania match though, but
yeah,
the idea of taking the belt off Lashley to get him up as a contender for the move up from the U.S. title to the world title.
What if that sets him up for a match with Brock?
No, maybe Keith or Matt Riddle will be really mad because Matt Riddle's been asking for that match for years.
Yeah.
And that's never going to happen because Brock doesn't like him. Oh well.
Yeah, but I think Lashley's wanted that match first just as long as
Lashley's wanted it for longer.
Yeah.
Being on. I mean, Lashley. But
since we got 5 minutes left, so real quick, I want to just throw this one at you since you mentioned Brock.
Yeah.
The guy that looks like he could be his fucking kid.
Oh yeah.
That guy.
That they're talking about is going to be the next big thing.
Mm-hmm.
What do we know about him? I don't really know much, but I can tell you the looks of him. He looks like he could be related to him, which is crazy. I knew he's a football player somewhere, but that's all I know.
The last I heard, I forget which university it was, but the WWE has actually convinced this guy to fucking quit college football and sign a full-time performance center contract.
Wow.
I mean,
Parker
look, I can
Boudreaux
very
is his
well,
name.
Parker Boudreaux, yes.
yeah, I can very well see them building him just exactly the way they did with Brock. When Brock first came on the
100%.
scene, you know, even before you noticed Paul Heyman, you're like, look at this fucking guy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, without even Haven being involved. The kid looks just like him.
Just like him.
He looks like halfway between Otis and Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? But he's friggin' ripped as hell.
He looks a little
my
shorter,
God.
but he looks huge though.
It's ridiculous how close they are. Though Brock's daughter looks a lot like him.
You guys are gonna shit when I show you who he's in a picture with on his Instagram from a couple days ago.
Oh, I remember. I can't remember, but I.
Who, Brock?
No, Parker Boudreaux.
Is that Eva Marie?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, fuck my life.
Can you imagine? What if
Who was with Eva Marie?
this kid?
The kid.
Parker
Parker
Boudreaux.
Wow.
Last week, a week ago. He said, "Let's get ready to rumble," and it's a picture of him and Eva Marie.
Oh shit.
But I mean, oh my God, he's all muscle. He's got his tattoos aren't as shitty as Brock's, which is good. And yeah,
I mean, look,
But he doesn't have a big knife through his chest.
If he's athletic, then they're going to do something with him.
Oh yeah, for sure. Looks like University of Central Florida might have been where he was going.
does have some sick tattoo work.
It's cool. I mean, listen, if they see the potential in him so quickly,
He's 6'5", 22 years old.
I'll tell you what, if they put him and Brock as a tag team together, they'll beat everybody for years to come.
What if they do a protege thing like Big Show and Undertaker?
Yeah, and have Heyman bring him in, have them show the kid the ropes, and a pairing with Lesnar or Heyman or both would be fantastic. But they convinced this kid. He was playing football for University of Central Florida, and they convinced him to quit and sign with WWE. So whenever he's ready, obviously the thing is, we don't know when he's going to be ready. It could be a year from now, it could be 3 years from now, it could be never, but there's a lot of potential.
He could be like Brock and get sick of it.
Yeah. Brock started as an amateur wrestler, you know what I mean? Yeah, so just for those of you who are watching the live stream here, or the video version of the podcast, he's a big boy.
Just look at that guy. Just look at him. He's a star. Just by looking at him.
I agree. Now we see Steve, and Steve's a star.
He's the star.
I'm not that guy's star. But yeah, the guy, I mean, it really, as you can see, I mean, it's just insane.
And if he's only in his,
he really looks like he could be his kid. 19 years old, coming off of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a baby.
Football. Yeah, so if they start young enough with him and they get him trained and he can do it, because he's got an opportunity where I think, as long as he doesn't have Brock Lesnar's voice.
Oh God, can you imagine?
He's going to get a better promo. Because that's the thing. That's the only thing that's missing from Brock Lesnar is the ability.
Unless Heyman does with him what he did with Brock.
Yeah, I mean Heyman's a star maker, so they could always easily put him with him. Well, it's the top of the hour, Steven.
But I don't think you want to make this completely a 2.0.
Listen, not for nothing. If WWE is listening to the internet and how many people are making that comparison, they may just come up with his long lost kid or whatever, and they may turn it into a story, and they'll put them all together with Heyman.
I mean, look, if they can make Jason Jordan the son of fucking Kurt Angle,
And how well did that one go?
Yeah, but at least this guy, this at least makes more sense.
Yeah, but I don't want to see another version of like how like when the Giant came back, he was Andre's son in WCW. Let this kid, if he's got something, let him have a chance. Actually,
that was great.
To do something that's not necessarily Brock. He's going to be forever compared to it by the looks. Give the kid a chance otherwise.
I don't know. I think it could work either way.
I think he could. I'm just, you don't want to set him up for.
Listen, if you're being put in that situation, I'd rather it be with somebody like Brock Lesnar than fucking, whoever else.
What I will say is, before we sign off real quick, is that WWE and their agents, when it comes to the Performance Center and NXT, they know who to look for, and whether it works on the main roster or not, or that's irrelevant. But by the looks of it, they have a good, keen eye for talent.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and on that note, Vinnie Mac.
We'll be back, right? Next week for another.
Next week, same time, same bat channel.
Yeah, that's true, guys. So yes, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Ryan shared with us some numbers in the group chat that indicates a lot more people are listening than they have been previously. So we'd like to thank you for continuing to follow along in our journey here. If you are enjoying the podcast, please share it with your friends. If they're wrestling fans, send the link along. Tell them to listen along. If they enjoy discussions about Nia Jax's hole, this might be a good episode for them to listen to. You can either go on our YouTube channel. That's Tag Me a Date. Tag Me a Date, no spaces. You go into the search bar on YouTube, type in Tag Me a Date. You can subscribe and hit the bell. Most of our social media is at Tag Me a Date. Once again, it's Tag Me a Date with no spaces. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, pretty much everything under Tag Me a Date. Twitch.tv/War Report. Twitch.tv/War Report for you Twitch homies out there. And if you prefer the audio version to the video version of our podcast, then you should wait until Wednesdays. Wednesday, it gets uploaded to Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play Podcasts. And you can either search for the War Report or Tag Me a Date, and you will see the page there. Hit subscribe on your favorite podcast app, and as soon as Ryan uploads that audio version on Wednesday, it goes right onto your phone, so you can listen while you're doing laundry or you're at the gym or whatever else you're doing. And that'll do it for this week. We go live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Eastern Time for the live streaming video version. And as I said, if you prefer for the audio version, just catch up with us on Wednesday. But we'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of the War Report. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week.